experience of going out into a community and having actors meet people who don't necessarily share the same thing. I think, you know, a lot of artistic worlds live too closely on each other, and therefore they don't encounter these other people. And the actor was forced to go out and meet people, and just by the rubbing together, understanding the work that was involved in what someone had to do down the road or something like that. And I think that's really important.
It was pure hell. And we went through a few hours of it, and I didn't think I was going to make it. And by the time we knocked off, I was really mad. I was really angry because I thought I'd been conned into a sort of a... He knew what it was going to be like, and I didn't. And he conned me into it knowing it was going to be hell. It was going to be really hard, and I was going to just destroy myself. I was really mad, and I was just covered with cuts, and I was bleeding, and I came home and stopped around for a while and wouldn't talk to anybody. I wouldn't talk to him. And went over to somebody's house and took a bath and skulked back and went to bed and got up the next morning, and he said, well, show us what you did. And I did it just as mad and angry and resentfully as I could. And everybody fell out laughing.
Something's always sure to tickle me.
And along come a young fellow with some wieners. Then he saw this great big carp with his mouth open, and so he took the wiener and he shoved it into his mouth. And it just went down, and he opened his mouth for more. He could eat these wieners about as fast as I could eat oysters.
Can we get inside, maybe, Les, and do some shooting in here? Pardon? Do you think we can get inside and do some shooting in here?
Any place as well. Inside the
Yeah.
And you can ride over the old mill wheel. The deer will likely be all laying. Do you want a picture of the deer at all? They'll be all laying. I don't know whether they'll be down this morning or not. They come right down and wade out in the water, you know, to get the bread now. I don't know whether they will do it this morning or not. I don't see them laying down on the side of the hill.
Well, I got the idea for my duck pond. It was over in West Germany on one of the old Hitler's Autobahns, and driving alongside of the Alps, visiting my son in Fontainebleau, France, in the NATO headquarters over there. Oh, I've been all over Canada, up the Alaskan Highway, to visit him. And I said to my wife, I said, and this is when they didn't have jets then either. They had these here, what you call them, Royal Rice engines on them on the way out on the sides there. And, well, I said to my wife, I said, by golly, I'm going over to visit Ivan. Well, of course, my other boys all laughed. They thought it was a hell of a joke. But anyways, I got on this old baby, and away we went. And you know, the hum of them motors was in my ears for 2 days after. Oh, and we hit a storm. Oh, scared the shit out of me. It was about halfway over. And we made the son of a bitch of a jump in the air, and then we came down, so far, well, right in about the middle, and, well, it scared me. Anyways, we got over there, and Hitler's Autobahn. We was driving along the Alps, and we looked down there, and we saw this little wee village with all these cars, and Ivan said, well, we'll just go down and take a look, and by golly, we did. And trust the German, he was making money. Oh, he had these swans and German stags for deers. Oh, he had the swanky outfit. Well, I said to Ivan, that's my son, I said, I got a better place than he's got. And he said, where? And I said, up the hill as you go to Holmesville, I said. I'm going to just build me a place like that when I get back.
I keep carp, catfish, and goldfish, and every other kind of a fish, but trout. Because if I had trout in there, why, the public would be sitting in the moonlight fishing my my trout out. And by putting all scavengers in there, I have no trouble with anybody fishing my trout out.
Oh, people who steal a Lord's Supper nowadays. I had two wonderful pheasants, you know, different breeds, and Chinese pheasants and all, I don't know. And then there was, one day I came down here and the hen bird was gone. Well, of course, somebody wanted one, don't you see, and come in here and help themselves, so I don't know.
I've had this here for sanctuary here for about 15 years. And I seen one when I was over in Germany on one of Hitler's Autobahn. And it was way down in the valley off one of his Autobahns. And we went away down in this valley. And of course, trust the German, he's got to make money. So he had an eating house on one side and he had a gas pump on the other. But he had some wonderful swans, black swans with white, and he had all different varieties. He had the big German stag in there. So I decided then that I had just as good a place as he had. So I was going through 8 countries with my son Ivan. He was over at Fontainebleau, France, at NATO headquarters in the Air Force. They sent him over. So I come home and I build this sanctuary, and
We got back here and finished the job. Was I sick of it? And this is just to the east of the Disney property. I own the Disney property over there. And that's the Disneys from the States. You'd catch me on the history of this, but they had a mill on the Maitland a long time ago, and then they moved up to Blue Vale and then down to the California.
it was a wonderful show all the way through. And this here fox, he mimicked me pretty good. If I'd have given him he always was chewing tobacco like I was. If I'd have given him a chew of tobacco, well, there'd been no show. So, it was a pretty good show all around. I got a wonderful kick out of it. But these Disneys that used to be Walt Disney's grandfather, he used to live just on the banks of the Maitland River. And he had an old stone mill there. And he was, there were quite the people, the Disneys in their day. The ones that were real smart, they really was good. And there was some of them that wasn't just as smart as they should have been.
You know, I shouldn't say this, but that Walt Disney never had a pot to piss in until Mickey Mouse.
When I was talking to Fox, I said to Fox, I said, you know, the Disneys, when they're over here, they haven't got a pot to piss in or window to throw it out of. And I Jim and the crickets, first thing you know, I heard it down in Stratford.
You have to create your own mythology, and our mythology are the people who are here. And what's happened so far is that we've always downgraded our own people and always said, well, you know, England's heroes are good enough for us, America's heroes are good enough for us, American TV commercials are good enough for us to make heroes out of too. And to start making heroes out of people like Gene Lobb and Les Jervis, I think is really exciting, because you have the reality and you have what you did in a play. And of course there's a difference, because when you make something out of it, it changes and it grows and it breathes. But to be confronted with the two is just fantastic because you feel that you can respond to both. You're sort of echoing off this one and echoing off that one.